I decided to make this beanie very much as an experiment, largely because I had a spare ball of super chunky yarn and was intrigued to see what a beanie would look like using it. Also, the added incentive was I assumed it would be an extremely quick project to do, and indeed it was. It took less than 3 hours. The attractive ribbing is achieved using back loop only extended single crochet and tapering with back loop only single crochet and slip stitch at the top of the beanie. This is the yarn. It is super chunky and it is from a batch that I bought at Aldi. It recommends a 10mm crochet hook, but I actually used a 12mm hook. This beanie works best with a fold over brim, so I am creating a chain that is 12 inches long, and for that I need to chain 18 with an extra chain for the turning chain, so that's a total of 19. I've now chained 18, so now I just need to chain one more for the turning chain and now do the first extended single crochet into the second chain. So insert the hook under the top loop, grab the yarn, pull through. So there are 2 loops on the hook. Now yarn over, pull through the first loop, and now yarn over and pull through both loops, and that is the first extended single crochet stitch. And now mark the first stitch with a stitch marker. This is the bottom of the hat, and continue with extended single crochets into the next 12 stitches until there are 5 stitches left to work. This is the last extended single crochet. There are 5 stitches left, so to create a taper at the top of the beanie I'm going to do 3 single crochets and then 2 slip stitches. So this is the first single crochet. The terminology I'm using is American, so single crochet is the same as the British double crochet. This is the second single crochet. Third single crochet. And now a slip stitch into the last 2 stitches. This is the first slip stitch, and then this is the last slip stitch. Now chain 1, this is the turning chain. Turn the work, and now do slip stitches into the back loops of the next 2 stitches, and then single crochets into the back loops of the next 3 stitches. what I have done is slip stitched into slip stitches and put single crochets into single crochet stitches to create the taper of 5 stitches at the top of the beanie. And after that, do extended single crochets into the back loops of all the stitches until the marked stitch at the end of the row. This is the last extended single crochet into the marked stitch at the end of the row. Now remove the marker, chain 1, this is the turning chain, turn the work, and do extended single crochets into the back loops of the stitches until there are 5 stitches left at the top of the beanie. And of course mark the first stitch of the row, as it can be quite tricky to work out exactly where the row finishes with the extended single crochet. And continue the rows exactly as before, so the extended single crochets go into extended single crochets and the single crochets go into the single crochets and slip stitches go into slip stitches until the width of the fabric is the size required. So this is a beanie for a male head, so I want a width of around 22 inches. And that will allow the beanie to stretch to at least 24 inches, so it will comfortably fit a large adult male head. And for a female adult head, I would go for about 20 inches. So now I am approaching the bottom of the beanie, so this is the last extended single crochet into the marked space at the edge at the bottom of the beanie. And secure the loop with a stitch marker. Check the length of the bottom of the fabric, and it is, as you can see, 22 inches. And of course at this stage you can always wrap the fabric around the head to check for size, and when the work is of the size required, the edges of the beanie can then be slip stitched together. And the advantage of slip stitching the opposite edges of the beanie together is that the seam will be virtually invisible amongst the ribs. My top tip for crocheting a beanie is to finish the crocheting at the brim end of the fabric. This will make the edge of the beanie much neater with an invisible join. when the slip stitches reach the top of the beanie, the last loop can then be secured and the beanie again checked for size before cutting the yarn. If everything looks okay, tie the loose ends of yarn together and then the top of the beanie can be cinched using a very wide-eyed needle. Finally, tie the loose ends together to secure them. They can either then be used for attaching a pom-pom or alternatively just sewn into the beanie. So this is it, my rather experimental, super chunky, mega beanie. So if you like accessories made with super chunky yarn, then this beanie is for you. The other thing is, it is incredibly warm. Fun to make, and it took me less than 3 hours.